Hello, everyone, and welcome to Monsters on Break, the podcast that takes you behind the mask of the UK haunt and immersive industry. We sit with people who talk and bring Halloween to life from scare actors, attractions, makeup artists, designers, producers, and everyone in between. Today, I am joined by Paul Butterworth, Operating Director of one agency working across events and immersive experiential productions. Paul has an extensive background in operation, facilities, and live event management, has played a key role in delivering some of the team's most ambitious immersive attractions like Scare City Experience, Camelot Rises, Christmas City, and a load of other events between, from transferring large and unusual venues into full immersive worlds to managing performers, contractors, safety, logistics, and thousands of people and guests just walking through the mall. Today, we're exploring Paul's journey into the industry, how attractions like Scarcity Experience comes together, and everyone that's behind it all, really, from the lighting, the crew, and its characters. So, Paul, thank you so much for joining.
Oh, thanks very much for having me. Feel like a celebrity. Thanks. That's the best intro I've ever had. I appreciate it.
Before we get into anything you've been involved in over the years, let's start with you. Tell us about yourself.
Well, so as you said, my name's Paul Butterworth. I'm the operations director at One Events, and that's part of the One Agency Media Group. Part of what we do is a full sort of service marketing agency with sort of 70 employees doing all sorts of marketing campaigns for clients. And then another large part of what we do is more for what you'll know me about, which is events and brand activations. So a usual day in the life there is that I have a direct team that are creative designers. I have event managers, I've got event staff, and then I have a fully functioning production facility in Trafford Park where we create and build lots of our set assets and brand activation assets for all of our clients for when we do our pop-ups and our scare event, among many other things. So yeah, no one day's the same. It's all very much design, build, create, deliver where we are. So yeah.
I'm always interested in like knowing how people got and work in this industry. Everyone's journey is a bit different. So how did you begin? How did you get into all of this?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it's absolutely the case. Whenever we speak to anybody, especially around scare and haunt attractions, they are all from very different and diverse backgrounds, which I think is a major part of why they're so successful. I myself, I was working for a different company. My wife, funnily enough, is a co-founder of One Agency Media with Dean McCormick, who's the other co-founder. They were looking to increase their live events and brand activation part of their business, and really they'd started doing some elements, which I'm sure we'll cover along our chat today. But in that, they wanted to grow as fast as possible. So I've got a bit of a background in facilities, logistics, and safety, which all sounds extremely boring, but it's my fun. So, and everyone's neat, and you always need somebody like me. So yeah, I came on board in 2022. And that started just when we were around delivering Camelot Rises, which was one of our sort of larger versions of the initial scare attraction. So I started there, and it's then grown into a multi-million-pound business in its own right through the success of Scare City, a few other football-related events and pop-ups, and then another huge amount where we deliver brand activations with a lot of our clients, and they range anything from kitchen utilities and all sorts of things all the way through to beauty and skincare. So yeah, no one day the same. Lots of different colors, including gore, blood, and lots of pink for the other brands. So yeah, that's a bit about me and how I started.
Yeah, that's great. It's like it's interesting how you started all of this and like you've grown as a company. So I just want to know how you got into doing this, like park and party, and then it all changed to Scarcity Lives.
Yeah, so obviously before I joined the business, I was well aware of what we were doing, but as my wife is the co-founder, so I used to turn up to all of the initial events that they started. It was actually all born out of COVID. The agency had a few assets, which include like an advanced screen, a bus with a screen on the side of it that they used to use for marketing campaigns. Obviously, during lockdown, nobody was driving out of home and looking at all them adverts and looking at all them concepts. So luckily enough, the business was still doing well because they used a lot of online and TV and so on. But Dean, in his wisdom, decided that he would like to utilize them assets for other uses. So the moment that we were allowed to start sort of doing doing any events out again, we took over the Event City car park, and we started doing drive-through cinemas, and that started under the brand of Park and Party. And they were started as traditional, let's build a screen or use our screen assets, do some traditional drive-through movies, which were really successful because not many people were doing it. And obviously either side of COVID, people kind of were forced to not be around each other as close as possible. So the car created an extremely good use of the bubble system that was in place. So between that, they started taking off in success. And then accidentally one day we put a horror film on, and it was really, really busy, and it seemed to be the most popular genre, which I'm sure will go down well with your listeners. And also in that, eventually Dean decided that it'd be a really good idea to send a few crazy people running around the car park to really immerse our audiences and make them feel that little bit more vulnerable. That then turned into a huge opportunity that completely oversubscribed, and we kind of had a eureka moment where we're like, people love being scared. What is this all about? Like, why is this? And it kind of all grew from there.
So it started off during COVID, and you came up with the idea of Park and Party. They just go through, well, still within their bubble or the car, and see a horror movie. And yeah, no, that's their
and then
style.
Eventually turned into chasing them to the toilets and back again, which, strangely, I thought most people would hate, and everyone loved it.
Yeah, no, that sounds like you had a great time doing it. And then how did that basically evolve to what we see Scare City experience today? How did you find Camelot and get started that way?
Yeah, I mean, it was actually a little bit by luck, so to speak, in that I believe I wasn't there at the time because I hadn't joined the business, but I believe Dean was working with a couple of people, one of whom knew that the site had become available potentially in the sort of real estate world due to the failed planning application. So our landlord is a homes company. Their long-term intent is to, and always will be, to build on the site to create housing in the area. Lucky for us, that process is extremely long and very difficult. And after multiple sort of failures in their initial planning applications, they were looking for ways to mitigate the cost of the land and sitting on it for the sort of periods of time that housing approvals take. So in that, we saw there was a big opportunity, instantly thought, oh my goodness, an old theme park, what could we do with that? What a great setting for our environment rather than just a car park. And on the plus side, it's got parking for over 250 cars and tarmac all the way through it to walk and run on. So it kind of was a match made in heaven, and it's actually a really, really unique site for the type of thing that we're trying to do, which I still feel like we could build something in the middle of absolutely nowhere, make it horrifically scary and everyone would enjoy it. But having that location is just that nice little finishing touch that kind of, before people get there, they start to go into an immersion area. People who have been there before reminisce about what it used to be, and then new people look back on what it used to be and then try to visualize. So it's a really nice place. It obviously doesn't look like the previous theme park as much anymore, but we've tried to utilize the areas that remain and then really go big on building our part. So yeah, match made in heaven, and we were like, yes, please, let's have it. And our first event there was in January 2022, which was Camelot Rises, which was a drive-through because that's what we knew how to do. But on a scale probably 20-30 times the size of what we tried to do at Event City due to the space that we had. So we built a huge scaffold with a huge screen with the intention to do the drive-through scare event, but then also other drive-through events because it's something that we'd kind of been doing really well with. And obviously people who drive to venues are quite happy to make that journey to a little bit further afield. So yeah, that's how the site came on that we're currently in today.
And then how did you get from the drive-through to what we know about it now?
It was a kind of natural progression. So usually in all things business, you look at how can we create a bigger opportunity to get more people through our event. So our scare attraction as Camelot Rises sold out very quickly. It was hugely popular, and we were kind of looking at it going, we really loved drive-throughs. It was what we were kind of known for. But the more we looked at it, and actually part of that drive-through was an area before you got to the traditional drive-through horror part where actors came running out, cars had stopped, the immersion happened, people tried to get into the cars, and that real closeness was kind of stopped us in thinking, and actually actually the best part of what we did there, whilst everyone still loved to sit in there watching the horror films and seeing people come to them, it was the fact that they were alone in that park and they felt vulnerable. So the vulnerability of being out there on your own, or one of the zombies getting into the car, was the moment that it sparked amongst us. We were like, this is the best part of it. How do we emulate that? How do we get more people through? Because in cars, they're very big, bulky and slow. How can we get more people to come? Because obviously to create a bigger production, you need more people to arrive. So it was really about scaling it up and then really making it kind of feasible for everyone to come and still get that real sort of immersion in the venue.
It's amazing. It's like, I just like how you just, from your days of drive-through to now, everyone is walking through and the different zones. And like, how do you come up with these different zones before? And do you like the team? Do you plan where you're ahead, or did you just say, "This, I like this building. Let's turn it into a hospital"? Or
yeah, it's a huge process. Actually, it's something that starts. If I'm being completely honest with you, it starts during the event for next year. So as we launch our year, so by say last year, by the second night after press launch, when you're just making sure everything's come together and working, you're already looking at what's working well here, what can we improve on. And that, in our mind, and especially Dean, who's very creative, I'm more of an operations and logistics person naturally, but between the two of us, we make a good partnership. And obviously we've got so many supplier partners and creatives that help us, which I'm sure we'll cover over the podcast. But I think really and truly the planning kind of happened straight away. And that then leads into discussions with our supplier partners, a couple of them being Gravity Live, who help us with our professional actors and stunt people, and the organization of all of our actors, extras, and so on. And obviously our audio-visual team that we use, they're a specialist company that use all sorts of technology. All of that comes together as one. It obviously all starts from an initial concept. So that really usually starts back in our agency. We've got a huge creative team who deliver all sorts of things, from TV adverts to 3D visuals to CGIs, all sorts. So we've got a great team. We put them all together in a room. Some of them who have got far more twisted minds than I, and they come up with concepts and what they think. So they'll kind of pitch the idea. So they'll say, well, we think these 5 names, we think this is the theme, this could be the backstory. And what we try to ensure every year, that we've got a name that befits the zone, so you have an idea as to what's going to happen. And then for our OG people, they like to understand the lore of it. So some guys will come and just want to be scared with different zones and just want to go and take them as they find them. And some of our original guys and lots of our people who come back want to understand the zone. Sometimes it might be based around a character, a bit of history, a proper bit of lore. And that's the bit where we want to appeal to everybody. So then people who want that little bit more immersion and that little bit more storytelling, they get that in that as well. So that's how it starts. And then it turns into many, many walk rounds during the summer, many of which have still been going on up until last week. We then agree a concept, we agree a bit of a loose floor plan, and all of the different elements come together. And we'll use a couple of other creative companies in helping us, but a lot of it is built in-house as well. We've got a big build team, and they've got all the gadgets, all the CNC machines, 3D printers. So we've got a lot of capability in-house, which is such a positive, and so we're very, very lucky in that sense. So I do always say, having a marketing agency behind you when you're trying to create an event that needs a website and advertising and marketing and all that, we've got pros around us all the time, which a lot of other scare attractions don't have. And that's a really tough ask when you're trying to do that all in-house. So a big respect and kudos to our other colleagues in the industry, because it takes a lot of people to run one of these events behind the scenes. And yeah, so we that's how these zones come up, and then they evolve as we go. So what we think it's going to look like on day one, by the time we're a week out, then we look at it and go, actually, it'd be better if we did this and this. And then after day one, when we have our influencer event, we're like, actually, that would work better if we do that. And it gets much better every single day we do it. And that's the same for the actors, again, who come into our space. They start getting into character and creating their own stories and their best ways of utilizing their roles. And yeah, so for me, it's great on day one. It's amazing on day 6, and it just continues to grow.
That's great. Yeah, I remember first time working with you guys as a scare actor. I just loved it. I just wanted more blood on me, really.
I'm glad we gave you that feeling. That means we're doing something right.
Yeah, Oh yeah, no. Going back to partnership, you said Gravity Live. Yeah, how did that actually come about? Do you like know these guys beforehand? Did you work on other previous projects,
Yes. So,
or
so Dean worked with Mikey from Gravity Live, the founder there. I believe they did a few events for us. They obviously have, and I'm going to butcher their marketing material, so please, Mikey, forgive me, but they do a huge amount of live events, and they're a full production company. So they do that for all sorts of different settings, and they don't just do scare acting by any means. Actually, that's one part of many different acts that they deliver. So they started, I believe, around when we started Park and Party, and when Dean decided he wanted some actors running around. I think he very quickly realized you couldn't just grab a random person and tell them to be scary, and there was a far more that goes into that. And so he reached out to Mikey, and Mikey helped deliver way back from then the actual actors that were going to come in, so costumes, makeup, and the actual expertise to do it and what to do and so on. So yeah, all the way back from there is where we got with Mikey, and he's grown with us in this, and he's a fundamental. The team there are a fundamental part of everything we do, because we really do respect the fact that this is an act and it is a specialism. And we're a marketing agency and an events company. We're really good at the stuff we do, and where we don't have the people in-house, we always look to find industry experts to help us be the best we can. He's definitely fits in that mold.
Mikey is pretty much one of the key members that all our scare actors go to when we need help. If he's not there, it's probably his wife, Catherine, or any other members of the team. So yeah, like
they're very experienced, and a load of them are kind of stunt men and stunt people, should I say, and circus acts and all sorts of stuff. So all of them different backgrounds they're all from their different kind of, maybe as a dancer, maybe as an actor, all comes together at Scare. We get the best of all of their skills, to be fair.
I don't know what zone I'm going to be in, but can't wait.
Me neither. Yeah. We've just finished auditions for this year's new cohort of extras and scare actors, and I went along to that. That was great fun. It's one of my favorite things to do, go and watch the auditions, because you're just in a room and no one's got any makeup on, and it's just raw, and it's great, and they're really good at kind of getting the best out of people. And you'll have guys turn up there that have been before, guys who are interested, guys who have no idea what scare acting's about, and you just give them the opportunity to just go a bit crazy and do some fun stuff. And yeah, you'll see straight away whether somebody can immerse themselves in an instruction, or whether it's just that little bit too far, or maybe they need a little bit of help and guidance. So yeah, we're lucky to have a lot of people that return, and other people that have joined us from other scare attractions, which is great because we get their experience as well. So yeah, a really diverse mix of people, but it does take a lot. We do have a heck of a lot of actors. I think we have, at any one time, we'll have about 25 professional full-time actors, and we'll have a list of around 120 extras that we call them, but they're also scare actors. There are local people generally who come along, get training, come and have fun, earn themselves some money during the period. And yeah, we've got a huge selection of them, because it's very, very tiring work. There are a lot of dates and times, and it's nigh on impossible for somebody to do the entire run. So we know we have to make sure we've got quite a lot. So we usually have about 130 extras on our books at any one time as well. So that takes a lot of administration and management and support, which is done by Bev and a couple of others in our team as well. So yeah, it's a lot goes into it, as you say.
Yeah, there is a lot going into it. It's like from the start and opening time. Do you get nervous like every time you open something big, like for press night?
Absolutely, yeah. Even with Scare, it's kind of a twofold answer. So the first thing is, whenever you do any event for the first time, it's horrifically scary. Anyone who tells you that isn't are lying, or they're extremely chill, because you're always taking a risk with funds, with the idea that people might not get it, with the idea that sometimes a lot of events take a lot of time to get momentum. I always read in the industry that things like concerts and festivals, sometimes they run for 2 or 3 years without making their money before they really start getting into it. So yeah, again, we're lucky to be backed by our agency, so this isn't the sole income of the business, but ultimately, if you run an event 2 or 3 times and it doesn't work, it's very difficult to continue with it. So yeah, every year though, since that, it's the adrenaline of trying to change it all up, trying to make sure that we keep people coming back, and that every time someone comes for the first time, absolutely loves it, or if they return, that it feels completely different and they feel disorientated, and that it never feels the same when they come, so that they'll come and see us every year. That's our goal, really.
Yeah, I can remember from last year when you did Contained first. That actually threw a lot of people off, because you're going backwards, and then you go through Carnivale and slaughterhouse. That did throw a lot of people off, but it was a great change, really.
Yeah, and
But
we're lucky. Well, I say we're lucky. It's very expensive, but we rebuild our site from pretty much scratch every year. Whilst we've got some parts of an infrastructure that stay the same, it's not very often you'll see any elements. Although we'll use props sometimes year on year, the actual walkthrough, the actual area you go to, sometimes the theme or the characters we have in, we try to change as many as possible. Keep a couple of OG favorites that everyone loves, Carnivale being one of them, because it fits in with the theme park vibe very well. But ultimately, we want everybody to be able to come every year and go, that changes every year. I'm going to go back, because we've been to a couple before and they're excellent. I know what goes into building them. So I always get, if ever any of our colleagues go to others, we're all in awe of what everyone does. But a lot of them struggle to be able to really change everything every year due to the cost of it. It's extremely expensive to create sets and bespoke items. And again, we're very, very lucky to have a lot of that in-house where we can go and produce new walls and create bespoke kind of horror items without having to pay sometimes some really sort of marked up prices because of the sort of techniques that go into building them.
yeah, definitely. But again, I can't wait to see it all set up. I know that you guys have already released some zones already, and you're holding back. But do you have any?
Yeah, we like to keep everyone on their toes. Yeah, it's nice to do a bit of a phased release, because some people are just like, show me the end products and let me buy my ticket. And some people just want to get involved in learning as you go along on that. And so we try to do a phase release on the zones. So we create a bit of excitement. We let everyone take each zone in at a time. We've got time. It's summer. Most people are thinking about going to the beach and on holiday right now rather than scare events. But we like being there in the background and reminding everyone that we're building something slowly and start getting the momentum going. So yeah, we've launched, I think, about half of them now. I think we're up to the Devil's Orphanage was the last one.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, lots of new stuff for this year. And actually one of them, the Devil's Orphanage, will be probably the biggest single build that we've done from scratch from a blank canvas for one zone. So there's a little bit of a,
oh wow.
Yeah, there's a bit of insight into it. I can't give too much away, but it's being built from complete scratch, and it's probably the biggest individual zone we've ever built from scratch. So yeah, we've got a lot of people around us that just want to go bigger and better all the time. A lot of the time, my job is to try and stop them spending way too much money, but I never succeed. They always just go for it.
Well, we do want to see it grow and become as big as possible, and like one of the best ones in the Northwest where we're currently based. So yeah, it's like really exciting times. And for me, I probably not avoid the children orphanage because I just find creepy children scary. So
well, it is a little bit controversial. I hear what you're saying, but the fact that your response is that and you're a scare actor means we're probably on the right track.
It just reminds me of children.
If you find it scary, then I think we're winning, because I've seen you in them zones. So
again, if it's like something similar of Children of the Corn, it's like I do want to avoid.
Just a point to note, we aren't using real children in the making of this production. Just put that one out there straight away.
Yeah, it's an 18 plus, so yeah, there won't be any children, of course.
But it's going to feel like there are, because we've got some extremely youthful scare actors that I'm sure you know personally, and yeah, and some equally scary, shall we say, people who work in said orphanage. So yeah, it's really going to be a really cool zone. It's something we haven't done before, and yeah,
it sounds big. It sounds exciting.
I'm not looking forward to going through it myself, I've got to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna hopefully avoid it, but I'll probably get pushed into it doing all the characters that we all know.
I'm sure.
But yeah, like, when you do these kind of events and you know that you'll get like Republic idiots coming through and they're just like rowdy or like trying to intimidate us, how do you guys normally deal with all those?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the toughest parts of running a scare attraction, because obviously we've got all of our guests and all of our scare actors to protect, and by the nature of the fact that they're on weekends, and people can sometimes take in some alcohol or turn up, you're always going to come across it. And our role is to really make sure, well, it's multi-part. We start by when we're at the reception and the ticket check, where we try to show everyone how to behave. We tell them again before we let them in. Then we have a huge network of event staff who are all on radio, who are monitoring guests as they go through, and then obviously a large number of sort of trained security guards. usually 95% of the time we can see the behavior beforehand, try to calm it down, try to tell people kind of how we do it. Also, if it's reported to us, we have people in each zone with radio access, so it might be we catch them afterwards and say, guys, that was a bit too much, tone it down. I think the difficulty is that what we're doing is not normal for a lot of people. So being made to jump, being made to be attacked theoretically by a zombie is not a natural thing for many people. And I think where probably people get caught off guard is they're not ready for it. They might be in a large group where they feel like if they're made to jump, they might look weak. And that can sometimes lead to that sort of thing. Generally speaking, the training of the actors is the most important part of it, because if you see someone with the wrong mannerisms, you're trained to kind of not give them the attention for it. So things like that can really work as well. So yeah, all in all, it is few and far between, but our key is to look after our guests and our actors. Their welfare is the most important thing. So all of them things all together usually means we minimize incidents. But likewise, if there is an incident, we act strongly, we remove people from the park, and if need be, call for the police. But again, very rare that all that has to happen. It's just that it's an environment that kind of can encourage a bit of a fight or flight in people who, if they're not ready for it. So we try to cater for that and give people the opportunity to calm down and understand that behind that mask is a 18-year-old guy who's trying to earn some cash and have some fun, and they're really not trying to attack you or injure you. So yeah, it's a little bit of all of them things, really.
Interesting, really. It's like when talking to others and like how they manage to like get all these idiots to come through, either break them up into other groups or just pick them up completely. So it's like, well, with safety in mind, that's a really great thing to have, really. So
yeah, that's the important bit.
And what is the like the biggest misconception of running a Halloween event like yours that other people who are trying to set up themselves would probably forget to do or understand?
It's incredibly complex and expensive. So a misconception might be that it's easy or cheap to do. I can tell you now, it's definitely not. It's and if you're looking to run it on scale to be able to deliver them big theatrical moments, you really need to have a solid stomach ready for the fact that it's a difficult industry. Every year it grows hugely in competition, but also in the audience numbers. So it's a definite growth industry. So Halloween in this country has got better and better every year in the last 20 years. It used to be something the kids did, and now it's something that all the older kids get involved in as well. So yeah, I would say to anyone trying to start out in it, get a really good network around you that you can lean on, and go to as many events as you can. Go and take them in, go and see what you like, what you don't like, and how you can emulate the things that you do like. And if you've got some unique ideas, trying to stand out from the crowd is obviously massively important.
No, definitely. And do you guys like not going undercover, but do you guys like spy on other competition to see that's the zone that we want to do next year? I know, other places don't seem to ours or yours.
Yeah, no, look, my first admission, and I've said this before to all of the scare actors, is I actually really don't like being made to be jump scared, which is really silly being that we do this for a living. But I feel like I make a good participant because I feel really vulnerable around them. Even when we go through ours every single night, a lot of the actors like to make a beeline to absolutely scare the life out of me and others when we go through. But I think that helps when you're trying to build the zones, because if you become if you're unmoved by it all, it's really difficult to immerse yourself in it. Whereas I walk through our zones in the middle of summer when we're just in the middle of building them, and something moves or makes a noise and it makes me jump. So I feel like I'm our target audience a lot of the time. But with regards to other scare events, there are some amazing ones out there. We ourselves, I haven't been to too many because the last few years, whilst we got into it, I've been working literally every hour under God sends. We tend to open before most and close after most. So in the past, it's been difficult. That said, last year, I took a trip to Dublin and we went to the Nightmare Realm, which was a completely different one. I wanted to see that one because it's been going for quite a few years. They're known for quite immersive sets, which I really love, and technology that they bring in. So I was really interested in seeing how they did that. And it's a traditional layout as well. So they have kind of like a lot of our other colleagues in the industry tend to base around a central hub and then have scare houses that go off of it. At Scarcity, we do it completely differently. We're one continuous trail event that do zone after zone after zone. You get an opportunity to rest before you go in and halfway round. And then after that, you go back through it. So it's kind of a one circular thing. So everybody gets to do every zone. There isn't kind of an exclusion on buying a certain number of zones. So we wanted to go to see a traditional one because I hadn't been to one. I was like, how does that work? What's the dynamic like? Because we've always got to continually consider, how does our event work? How could we get it? How could we make it better? So I went to that one. That was fantastic. Really good. It'd been going for a number of years. It was in an old supermarket, but they'd done such a good, I think it was an old, like a Sports Direct type store that had been completely taken over, and barring the roof kind of looking like it, they'd done such a good job on immersion and theming. So that was nice. My ultimate goal, though, is to get to Traumatica, which is over in Europa Park in Germany. And I've been to the theme park itself, and it was phenomenal. But each year, they're renowned for doing a really, really good scare event. So this year, we're trying to get over there if we can, to go to a couple of opening, or one of the opening nights, to go and see what them guys are doing, because they're renowned for being one of the best as well. So yeah, we're always interested in going and seeing what everyone's doing. But likewise, we've got such a group of creators. We would never want to try to copy anybody else. We want to try and be original as best as we can. And we always try to pride ourselves on doing something new and unique that we've come up with throughout the year. And we've got a couple of good we've got a couple good bits of history on where we've done that and no one's ever done it before. And that's what we want to be known for. So whilst that's great, actually, what we're really looking for is being unique. So it's more of a, let's go and have some fun without having to worry about running it, than it is to go and have a look what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, no, it's better to be unique and create your own zones, really, than copy. Well, I haven't even been in this industry for a long time as an actor, so it's like, this is just fun for me. But I'm still intrigued on how you guys all set it up. And that reminds me, from, I think it was May this year, we did, you guys did Scarcity Live. How did that come about?
So, well, I think it was the natural progression. We have such a great response to Scarcity every year. We've sold out literally for the last 3 years straight, even though we put extra nights on. The response has been phenomenal. And it's a production, in essence. It is a theatre show that we already put on, that's split into different zones, and it's a performance. We've got colleagues with Gravity Live that have also done theatrical performances. So we thought, well, why the heck not try and do something out of the usual scare time and try to encourage people to come to a different format and a different way of doing it. And we like to be trailblazers. We like to try things for the first time, even if it means that it doesn't completely sell out the first time you do it. But I suppose the way Dean sees it as an entrepreneur, and the way I like to look at it, is that nobody knew that you didn't want a keyboard on an iPhone until Steve Jobs thought it up. So we kind of think, let's do something different. Let's do something new and see how it goes. And don't worry about the fact that it might take a few years to click in with everyone. I think the biggest challenge we had with Scarcity Live is that our usual audience perhaps are less the audience of, say, this podcast, who are well into horror, well into scare acting and all the things, and a bit more purist in the industry we're doing. I would expect people seeing this podcast or being in the scare acting kind of community to really like that format straight away without question, and they're great. But actually, a lot of our audience aren't that. They are people who come to be scared for the day over Halloween period and haven't got a massive interest in horror. So we need to appeal to both parties for it to become something that scales and moves. But absolutely, that's our intention, is to keep trying new things and seeing how they land, what we could do better, and what audiences are we looking for. So yeah, it was great. Really enjoyed the process. It's completely different. Yeah.
And do you reckon you're going to do it again for next year, potentially?
Yeah.
Or
Potentially. Yeah, I think
nationwide.
Yeah, I think potentially it did really well. The people that went there really enjoyed it. We'd loved a better response in people. We'd love to have had more people go through it. But actually, I think that was more, with us, we're a marketing company, so we need to understand the audience before they come. And I think with that one, a little bit more work on how do we encourage our usual scare audience to come to that, because it's completely different. I don't think a lot of them kind of know how good it can be because it's not been done before. So I think I think Farmageddon probably one of the first ones in the north that did it. I bet the first year they did it, when it not being a thing that was around anywhere, they probably took a lot of momentum to get where they are today, which is renowned for what they do and really successful. So yeah, I think we're there where it's something completely new. We had a really good response, but we'd love it to have been 10 times bigger, where we're adding extra days and stuff like that. But it's a slow burner. So yeah, I think it got better as it went along, a lot like our other scare appearance. And it's very, very different, delivering 30 seconds of scare that then resets for every individual guest to one continuous production. So yeah, we obviously had some really good theatre people in the background who knew that and who were good at putting scripts together and rehearsals and all the other things that go into that. But yeah, loads of lessons learned in how can we make this sort of more scary, more immersive and all that. So yeah, all of that will come into something else, whether it's that exact thing or whether it's a hybrid of that. Not 100% sure yet, because we're full into Scare City 2026 kind of planning and delivery at the minute. But yeah, watch this space.
Yeah, I can definitely say that it was a really good show. Well, because I was in it.
Yeah.
I just like to get covered in blood, as everyone will probably see in all my socials. I'm really had much covered
When
in
you're
blood.
at home, isn't it, Kenya?
Yeah, my landlord is not looking forward to the bathtub scene, but it's all good. It's all good. Well, yeah, no, that's brilliant. Like, we've pretty much found out all about you, all about Scare City, your partnership with Gravity Live, and everything, and pretty much how you guys just run the event. And what do you see from like 2027 and going forward? Where do you see yourself?
Yeah, we really love being at Camelot theme park. We think it's a great venue, and we will be there as long as they'll have us. Obviously, with our landlord being a homes company, the inevitable is likely to happen. We don't believe that's anytime soon. So, plans are to obviously be there this year and next year at least, and see how it goes. But we've got a great products and great demand for it. So we have looked before at running multiple events across the country, and that's something that we're still interested in doing, as long as we've got the full kind of creative control that we have where we are now, to make sure that it's delivered at the quality. But I think, yeah, we've got the opportunity that we might move homes in a few years' time, and the opportunity that we could grow something maybe in the south so that we cover a bit more of the UK. We do get people come from all over the place, as far as Scotland and abroad sometimes, and we've had people propose and it be their place where they come after their wedding reception and all sorts of weird and wonderful things. But I feel like it's a product that everyone loves, and we'd love to just keep growing with it. So yeah, we're always open to suggestions and opportunities. But yeah, there's definitely no let off and no hold up. We go bigger and better every year, and again, our production will be bigger and better than it was last year for sure.
Well, I can't wait to see this year, really, or what zones potentially I could work in. But yeah, we'll wait and see.
All good things come to those.
The Scare City experience has seen loads of recognitions and awards over the years. Which ones are you proud of, and do you have some with you right now?
It's funny you should ask. Yeah, we initially started by winning a few Scare Track Awards, which are online platform that do an awards every year, and we were dead proud to come first there a couple of times. More recently, ScareCon, who are quite a well-regarded scare industry awards place, we've been recognized for a couple of things. I've got them here. So for those of you watching on camera, I'm holding up the award for 2024 for the best scene or set piece. On the back of it, it's got ScareCon 2024. Really hefty, I've got to say. They know how to build a trophy, which we're very happy to have. This one was for our zone decontamination, which was a real unique zone that nobody had ever done before. A few of our creative guys had been watching a certain program on Netflix where red light, green light, the game came into it, and we were kind of saying, well, why can't we do that as a zone? And that then turned into decontamination, which featured as our last zone in 2024. And it basically had 10 traps that we built, an army feel, an army theme. And the idea was to run on green, stop on red, and try to get through the final act to get out of the scare attraction in one piece. And that led to 10 people being lined up by megaphone into small traps, being made to not know what they're about to do, and then to be released out into a pit full of multiple zombies, places to kind of hide, and red light and green light changing every 5 seconds for them to try and run to the end. And the monsters were running on red and the people were running on green, and it was so much fun to build. It's so much fun for the actors to work in, because they could kind of work in teams. And I remember towards the end of it, they would be banging and shouting and screaming before the guests were let in. So they really built a big immersion into it. And yeah, we were lucky enough to win an award for that. It was something that had never been done before. We've done some different kind of iterations of it over the period since, which have all been really successful. So that was one. And then hot off the press last month. We went to the ScareCon Awards for 2025, and we were over the moon to win this award, which I'm now holding up for those viewing, which is a big pumpkin type award. Again, it's got Keep Out written on the back. Really beautiful piece. And this was for the best multi-part Scream event. So really, really proud to have won a whole category or genre of event. And as I mentioned before earlier in the podcast, we are a one continuous scare event. So we've won the award for being the best one. So really, really excited by that one. And yeah, and winning awards is great because it isn't just for us to kind of go, oh, look, we won an award. It's for the people. And we celebrate that at our wrap party at the end of the year, which you've been part of for a number of years, Ken, where we cheer on. And actually, this is won by the people just as much as it is the production company. It's really a shared thing that we get to bask in the glory of at the wrap party to each event. So yeah, it's great. It recognizes all the hard work that goes into it, to all the various people, both behind the scenes and then on the day. And yeah, we all share in that at the end and have a big party. So I think that's the reason why lots of other scare actors join us, because I'm not sure how many of our colleagues in the industry run them, but the scare parties at the end of our run are legendary, and one of our favorite parts of it, where we get to really look back at all the hard work, all the rain-soaked clothing in -2 temperatures with wind, and then really kick our heels off and relax and celebrate. So yeah, that's a big part of it for everyone.
Yeah, I know. I remember the wrap parties. I think the very first one I did, I pretty much went into food coma. Ate loads of food. No one's having the food, so I might as well just
food and drink. What I really love about having a party with scare actors is that most corporate events that you go to, everyone stands around and waits for the first one to dance. Now, it's the complete opposite with scare actors, because the moment there's a hint of music, the floor is full. It's the same as the award dues as well when you go to them, because you've got people who are just really extrovert, really love having a good time and not shy in the slightest. So it's always a really good party from the very first. If you look at our scare parties at 8:10, they look like a normal party would be at 1:15 in the morning. So they're always great fun to be around.
Yeah, I remember the party from last year. I wore that dress.
You did wear a dress, yes.
Oh dear. Or we can do that again. Who knows?
You're another one of them non-shy people, Ken, that's for sure.
Yeah, I have to get a few drinks in me. But yeah, like, it's so great. And like, the conversation we had so far is like everything about what you guys planned, and I'm so happy that you can potentially do it again on the same space for 2077, and there's potential for another rap party as well. So that's perfect. And yeah, like, as it's near the end of our show, I want to do a quick fire round of questions, just like to wrap it up really quickly. But before we do that, I want to thank you for sending over some merchandise that we can give up to our listeners. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, very welcome.
No, let's have some really quick fire rounds. Like, what's your favorite horror movie? I know you're not into it, but what's your favorite right now?
Well, Alien, the original. Everyone says that's sci-fi. I'm saying that's horror. I'm saying it's sci-fi horror. So Alien 1979, Sigourney Weaver, without doubt.
I prefer Alien 2. But
I prefer Alien 2, but as a horror movie, I think that's more, that moves to the sci-fi bit. I think it's an original horror. I'm going to go Alien, the original.
Okay, Alien. Okay, Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees?
I'm going to go Myers, The Mask. Yeah.
Favorite scare attraction you visited so far?
Well, as I've not done many, I'm going to give it to Nightmare Realm Dublin. I think they did a great job. And I hear they're actually moving from Dublin to another space in Europe. So we're waiting to see where they pop up this year.
Is it theatre or traditional scare attraction?
I've got to go traditional scare attraction. I'm biased.
Chainsaw or clowns?
Clowns, because we're OGs with Carnivale. So our clowns every year, I think, are the best, because that just personifies the carnival atmosphere at Camelot from way back when. So yeah, I'm biased again on that one.
Zombies or vampires?
To watch a film, vampires. To go to a scare attraction, zombies, because you can just do so much. Like, you can have funny, scary, sad, excited, and you can just do so much of it. It's my favorite. We've had zombies in so many zones over the years that yeah, I've got to go there.
Yeah. Halloween or Christmas?
No, you're asking a scare attraction owner. Halloween all day, unless you're going to do a scary something at Christmas.
Oh, you could always do Krampus, a haunted Christmas one.
Yeah, well, I know that the guys at Warsaw Scare Maze have actually do a Christmas one every year, and I've not been yet, but they've invited me last year because we invited all of their scare actors to ours. So they're good friends, and I really want to go to that one. But it's always been when I've been doing something else for Christmas. So at one point I'm going, but if anybody's up for it, have a look at, I think they call it Chris Massacre, but plug in another event because we just love the industry. So yeah, if anyone's up for that, get on that, guys.
Live actors or animatronics?
Definitely live actors. Yeah, animatronics are cool, but that's for Universal Studios. We have a few bits and pieces that we do, and we love our tech. We love doing cool things with tech, but you can't beat real people. That's why people are going. They want that immersion of knowing that person could really be someone who's out to get them.
Don't have a budget? No, unlimited budget. Let's just say, what would you build for this scare attraction?
What I would say is Dean builds it every year like he's got an unlimited budget. So we're no. I think knowing that I'd been to the theme park, the Europa Park, and that they do Traumatica. What I think would be the most amazing thing is if you could put the two together. So actually, if I had unlimited budget, I'd create scary, more immersive, dark rides and Halloween theme rides and build that into a scare park all year round.
Oh, that would be
just really need a few more millions on the rides. I think they're about 50 million each. So yeah, I'll keep saving up.
And finally, give your advice in anything, setting up, getting characters. Actors.
Go and visit them. Go to as many as you can. Go and see what people are doing. If you want to get involved, get in touch with them. We're always open to taking in scare actors. We have cleaning staff, event staff, security staff, bar staff. We have so many people that come in to run in a scare event. So it might be that you don't want to actually be a scare actor, but you want to be part of it. There's loads of roles in this industry, so go and have fun and see them. And where you see that you might be comfortable, reach out to the one you want to be at and try and get involved. It's great fun, as I'm sure you'll testify.
Yeah, just go for it, people. Just like sign up, audition. If you don't get selected, they always normally put you on a reserve list anyway, and just bring you back when the time is right.
Just to add that to that, Ken, actually, the people that make up our scare acting and everything come from such diverse backgrounds. We've got people with all sorts of neurodiverse needs, all sorts of things. It takes everyone from everywhere to make these events. So even if you've got something that you might feel might hold you back, it might not, because you can just become whoever you want to be as a scare actor. You can put a mask on and create a completely different persona. So don't let anything hold you back if you fancy it. That's what I would say.
Yeah, again, just go for it, guys. Just sign up for an audition. If there's a poster or an ad saying we want scare actors, just do it.
Get out there.
Yeah, you'll make friends for life, and you just like become part of the family. Such a cringe thing to say, but
it's true. Well, our group, if I've anything to go on, we have probably 50, 60 actors that return year on year, and we're all friends. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Again, thank you, Paul, for taking time and joining us today. It has been brilliant hearing about your journey, the story, and everything about one agency, one event, scarcity experience, and live, and just everything that you put together to make this event just work. And we really appreciate you just coming and sharing the story.
Oh, thank you very much for having me, and I'm happy Halloween to everyone. Early Halloween, get out there and get to them scare attractions.
Yeah, and loads of tickets for places are already open right now. Even Scarcity, just go and buy as many as you want. Get all your friends, family, your nan.
Yeah, that's it. The older the better. And as I say, later, maybe towards it, obviously you've got a bit of merch to do some stuff with, but we'll also sort you out some tickets for your listeners going forward as well. So stay tuned, and I'm sure there'll be more on offer sort of the closer we get to the Halloween season.
Thank you very much, Paul. Until next time, guys, we're Monsters on Break. See you behind the mask.